This is a Stanton STX. It's a portable turntable for scratch DJs. It's a specialist thing. It's pretty cool with a couple of things we wish were different about it. I'll talk you through those now and we'll give you a little demo of it towards the end of this. If you want to know whether this is for you, if you want to know whether to get this rather than say the Reloop Spin or even the original Numark PT01, this ought to help you. Right, so the unit's quite nice. It's made of plastic, but it's cool. It's got a lid that comes off and then you can put the lid down and put the turntable onto the lid in order to give you what basically feels like a very nice, in fact it's that way around that it goes, a nice high turntable that's the same height as maybe even a bit higher than a normal turntable, which is great for a portable unit. If you've got it alongside other gear, it's going to feel pretty substantial. What a nice design move that is. We thoroughly approve of that. It's also got some pretty high-tech features for the scratch DJ, and by that I mean a proper inner fader here, awesome. A pitch fader that's also got an ultra button, so you can go to plus minus 50%. 3-speed, 33, 45, 78. A really nice built-in speaker with a tone control. It's loud, it sounds good. An input audio volume, I'll talk to you about input audio in a minute. And then you've got a crossfader curve and also a crossfader cut-in controls here. Pretty high-tech stuff. You've also got a certainly not high-tech, but very nicely thought through position and clip for your 45 adapter there. So as well as having the input for playing, scratching over the top of with your scratch vinyl, which is controlled by the volume control here, which is a actual input that if I move this up and show you on the edge here, you'll see we've got our input here. It's actually a stereo input. As well as this, you've got Bluetooth as well. And the Bluetooth input is here, so you can wirelessly feed in music to scratch over. Now you could just play that music in the room and scratch over it, but if you feed it into this unit, you can record it through the built-in USB. Again, really nice. Also has a rechargeable battery, and if you spotted the USB there as well, this is not for plugging a computer and anything like that. It's just for charging the built-in battery, which is a really nice touch. Can't think of another portable turntable with that. So far so good. Good design, good features for scratch DJs, Bluetooth input, USB recording, built-in rechargeable battery, nice speaker. There's a couple of things that we didn't like about this. One that for me is a deal breaker, but I'm told that I'm just not the audience for this at all. So hey, your mileage may vary. And another I just think could have been better. So let's look at both of those things. So firstly, the one that I think could have been better. The tone arm is the same one that I think was on the Numark PT01, and it's on loads of turntables like this. It does the job, but it's just not inspiring confidence here. Why is that so wobbly? Now in a minute Steve is going to give you a demo on this, and in rehearsals we saw that it didn't really matter. You're about to see that you can use this for scratching, but I don't know, I'm not so keen on that. But the one that I really don't like is this. There's no way of fitting any vinyl on that isn't 7-inch. Now, Stanton tell us this is aimed at portablism. It's aimed at turntablists who use 7-inch scratch vinyl. They don't care about this. But the thing is, all the other turntables, including the Numark PT01, which came from the same stable as this, can play 10 and 12-inch vinyl. And look, yes, maybe you want to cut down your DVS vinyl and use this. Maybe you're happy to get a 7-inch sample set on a piece of specialized scratch vinyl to use with this. But when other turntables that are actually even smaller than this can play 12-inch vinyl, it just feels to me like an oversight. And again, Stanton tell us that it's not aimed at people like me. So who is it aimed at? Well, I brought Steve Canuetto, who is our scratch tutor, to the studio today. He's going to give us a demo on this. And then we're going to have a chat afterwards and see if he can throw some light on some of the things that are confusing me about this unit. First the demo, then we'll have a chat. Over to you, Steve.
It's like that.
So, Steve,
Yeah.
you're a DJ who actually does do a bit of scratching, unlike me, and I guess you're who this is aimed at. So, I'm going to guess by the amount of fun you were having there that actually you've got a different opinion of this.
Yeah, I like this. I've tried a few of the kind of, standalone, practice turntables aimed at, portablists before. And actually, the whole idea of having a 12-inch record on it, for me was always problematic because the platter underneath was a bit wobbly, and it meant that it just felt wobbly and unstable. This actually feels a lot more stable. So
there's a benefit to only having a 7-inch.
Yeah, I think they're onto something here. And also, I think that to me, like in our scratch course, I actually encourage students to do some practice with a 7-inch if they've got 7-inch vinyl, because scratching with a 7-inch keeps you very disciplined in terms of where your finger positions are, and being able to kind of stay within this area and not have your hand going all over the place. So it's good to practice with 7 inches, and of course there is a huge scene of scratch DJs who play with 45s, scratch with 45s, and that's what they do. So I think they're onto something here.
Okay, so it's specialist. It's for people who really, unlike people like me who might think, well, I like to mess around, or maybe I want to do a bit of scratching, but I also want a turntable with a built-in battery and a speaker that I can take to, charity shops. It's not for me. It's not. It just isn't.
No. And I think because there are other options that have the 12-inch. And you mentioned about this kind of wobbliness here. And if you pick it up and move it around, you think, oh, that's a bit dodgy. But this is very, very hard to make jump. I was doing all the kind of scribbly stuff, really putting a lot of tension through the deck, and it's not jumping, and it jumps a lot less than any other turntable of this type that I've ever tried.
Well, this is all positive. What about the tension? What about the torque underneath the turntable?
So I'm not an advanced scratch DJ, but in that demo there, the kind of keen-eared among you will have heard that when I was kind of letting some of the sounds off, it was going, it was taking a little bit of time to get up to speed. And it may just be something that I need to get used to, but that's a difference with the torque in the turntable compared to, pro turntables, where when I'm letting the vinyl go, there's not enough torque and not enough purchase underneath for it to pull it up to speed quickly. So I was struggling a little bit with that. That may be something I just need to get used to, but I guess that's to be expected with this type of drive of turntable.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with a portable battery-powered motor at the end of the day. So it's a lot more money than the Newmark PTO1, which is admittedly half a decade old now, and prices do go up, we know that, but it's almost twice the price of that. I think it's about $350 or something like that.
Right.
Is that good value? Who's going to go for that at that price, in your opinion?
Well, to me, there's two markets for this. There's the pro scratch DJs whose life is basically learning to scratch, practicing, getting the hours in, making sure that they never miss a day where they've got multiple hours of practice in a day. And if you're traveling and if you're on the move, this is going to be great for those DJs. I think they'll sell a lot to those kind of DJs. And of course, because it's Inno fader, it's got reverse faders, it's got pitch control, it's got Bluetooth, to put the beats in.
We were using Bluetooth then, by the way, to do that. So
it's perfect for those folks. So they're going to like it. But also, I think that what I've found at Digital DJ Tips is that there are people who want to learn to scratch. They're like, I've always wanted to learn to scratch. I've always wanted to give it a go. It's something I've always loved. But if you start to look at, investing in a complete system, like a DVS system with a scratch mixer, or even like a pro controller where the jog wheels are good enough to scratch with, it starts to get a very expensive thing to just dip your toe in the water with. This is something that you can do that with for sure. It's an inexpensive single unit. It does everything that you need to learn to scratch because you're only ever really scratching on one deck at a time. You can practice with this, see if you get the bug, see if you like it, and then you can decide whether you want to invest in some kind of more pro scratch.
And you probably wouldn't want to get rid of it because it's nice to have something you can take around.
Exactly, yeah.
And I want to end off then with the most important thing here. How do you say the word that starts with P-O-R-T and ends in ism?
Portablism.
Portablism.
Yeah.
Portablism. I'm going with Steve on that one.
This is bad. DJ Angelo is going to be on the phone to me. I know he's going to be saying, "What are you talking about?"
He's not the only one either. Right. Thank you very much, Steve. It's always good to get the opinion of someone else, especially when we actually differ in what we think about this, because I'm sure our audience will be either you or me, and it's definitely better for your kind of DJ than my kind of DJ.
And also as well, I've seen videos of, you know, pro, super advanced DJs using this, and it is absolutely capable of doing the most advanced scratch techniques that most people are likely to get to. So yeah.
Okay, so thanks for the rare visit to Studio One, Steve.
Yeah, good to be here.
And see you soon, people.